One morning on the miniature line, Jock was loading a train of ballast for Ryan.
That storm last night sure was something, huh?
It was! A tree fell onto the line up at Harwick and Arthur was trapped on the other side until it was removed this morning.
Oh wow, is everyone okay?
Yeah, everyone's alright. It just made a big mess.
So what's all this ballast for, Ryan?
A bit of the line under the offset grounds was damaged when one of the narrow gauge engines had an accident, and they're replacing some of the ballast underneath it.
Well, it would seem those tiny buggers got too big for their buffers.
You know they're bigger than you, right?
What?
Yeah, they're like twice your size.
Doesn't that seem a little excessive?
Jock, what are you talking about? Frank pulled into the station quietly.
I just think that they're obnoxious.
What's he talking about?
I think they're just small and annoying.
Is he complaining about me to Ryan?
Not to mention their awful gray color.
Huh. I don't have to stand for this.
Frank slipped away unnoticed. What are you saying? None of those engines are gray.
Wait, these are actual engines? I thought that was code for something.
Code for what? You don't know what a narrow gauge engine is?
What?
But you just...
Listen, man, I barely slept last night. I'm just joking around.
Frank was still fuming as he pulled onto the passing loop for Marthwaite Station. Mike was on the other line taking on water. Frank sighed loudly. Mike pretended not to notice.
Aren't you going to ask me what's wrong?
Do I really have a choice?
It's that Jock! He's been complaining about me to all the big engines, and I don't know what I ever did to him.
Well, why does it matter?
What do you mean?
Do you believe him?
Well, no.
So why do you care what he has to say? If you didn't hear it at all, it wouldn't have bothered you in the first place. Why can't you just ignore what he says now? He's young. What does he know?
He's like 33.
That's practically a child in terms of engines on this island.
I think I understand what you're getting at, though. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, well, if it stops your complaining.
Frank chuckled and began preparing for his return journey. Soon Frank arrived back at the big station where Jock was resting after finally unloading all the ballast for the day.
Hey Frank, how's your day been today?
Frank looked away and pretended he didn't hear him at all.
Okay, that's strange. He's probably just having a rough day. Maybe I should try to help him out a bit.
Jock noticed Frank had begun shunting some trucks, so he went over to help him.
Hey, I think this train's actually for me. Let me grab those trucks for you.
Frank just ignored him and got the trucks into line anyway.
Well, looks like you got them. I guess I'll leave you to it.
Jock puffed back to the station where Mike now was.
Hey Mike, was there anything that Frank said I did to upset him? He seems angry at me.
Mike didn't want to get involved and figured telling Jock would upset Frank more.
Not that I know of.
I wonder why he's so upset.
Have you tried talking to him?
I did. He just ignored me.
Mike had put two and two together as Frank brought out Jock's train for him, still silent. And he went back to the yard. Jock was feeling remorseful as he puffed away with his train in tow. Jock continued down the forested line. While it was a sunny day today, the ground was still damp from all the rain, and small mudslides began heading down the hills.
Wow, this is the first time I've seen all the damage from the storm.
I think we should go more slowly. We wouldn't want an accident. No sooner than Jock's driver stopped talking, a tree fell right onto the line and Jock crashed into it. Jock, are you okay?
I think so, but I'm stuck.
I'll call for help. Frank and Mike were talking at the station when a station master stepped out. Jock has run into a tree up the line. He needs help. Frank jumped into action. He had forgotten how upset he was and was now worried about Jock. It didn't take long until he arrived.
Jock, are you alright?
I'm alright.
Frank coupled up and began to pull Jock back onto the line.
I'm sorry about before. I shouldn't have ignored you.
I'm sorry. I must have done something to make you mad.
I was upset that you were talking to Ryan about me.
What do you mean? I was never talking about you.
I heard you this morning. You said I was annoying.
Oh, Frank, we were talking about something else. I wasn't talking about you.
Well, now I just feel silly.
It's not your fault. I'm sure I would have reacted similarly.
Thank you. Why don't we go home?
That sounds nice. So, what's a narrow gauge engine?